Okay. All right, everybody, welcome to the call. It's 6 o'clock. We're going to get started now. So let's get cracking on this. Katie asked me to do this on the basics of Impulse. So hopefully this is, if you already know Impulse, this is going to be a refresher to you. If not, hopefully you're going to learn something new. I always start by saying up here, there is a training button here. And when you press on that, the tutorial will come up in lots of different languages, English, Spanish, Italian, etc. You want to go through this as a little PDF, gives you all the reminders about what Impulse is and how it works, and all the different indicators on here, and how you can take trades on that. So it will definitely help you. You can't see the screen. Can you see the screen, Tony?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. This is basically, I always have, you can turn this off, but I always have it on. So every time I get on Impulse, it's going to open up and I can see the training, and I can go through that if I want to. So this is what it looks like when we're on Forex, and I'll go through everything here. So the tutorials are something that you definitely want to do if you're still starting or you need a refresher course. If you want to change it from light to dark, you go up here and you've got the dark option. It would change dark if you prefer that, or you can keep it light. For this indication, for this training, I'm going to keep it on the light mode here. There are some notifications over here. So under settings, if you go under settings, you will have your settings and you can set alerts here. So I'm a scalper, so I have my alert set on the 1 minute here. You can check any of these boxes, and you can check any of these that you want to have alerts on. Okay, you can select them all. You can select one at a time, and they will show up on your alerts on your back office. You have to go into im.academy, log in, and go to your notifications. Turn your notifications on there. You have to turn them on here, turn them on in the Academy, and you will get notifications when these cross the trend line. They're not notifications that you should take the trade, but they're notifications that you are going to cross the trend line, and therefore you can then see whether the other things are going to set up for you. And by that, I mean, when you're over on here, on Forex, when it crosses the trend line here, this macro trend arrow, when it shows up here showing that it's on trend or it's changed direction, you will get a notification. You can then open this up and see whether it's worthwhile taking the trade. So it's not a trade indication, but it will show you the first indication that something might be setting up and it'd be worthwhile you looking at. Over here on the top right-hand corner, you've got an economic calendar. When you open that, it's going to show you what's coming up in the marketplace. You know, there's nothing coming up in the US right now on Thursday, but we all know when we cross over to Friday, we're going to be seeing some. I only take note of the red folders. So the green folders, I'm not that bothered about. The orange or yellow folders, I'm not that bothered about. But the red folders are what I'm looking at because they can move the markets dramatically. Tomorrow, we've got some. If you're in the UK, you'd be looking for your flag there. If you're in the US, you want to be looking for US flags. And here they come up. So we're starting to see the big one on Friday, obviously, is non-farm payroll. NPP or NFP is what most people call it, non-farm payroll. Very big, can move the markets dramatically in the US and around the world. So that is on the economic calendar on the right-hand side. down here at the bottom, you do have your time zone here. Mine is set on Phoenix because that's where I am, but you want to set it on your time zone so you know exactly what you are down at the bottom right here. Okay. On the right-hand side, this is your alert panel. Very, very important. It shows you the 1 minute up to the daily. At the top of the alert panel, it will show you the different instrument categories that we can trade in. This is foreign exchange, Forex. This is commodities, which includes gold and oil. This is crypto, obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum and the other traders. This is indices like the NAS, the Dow, the S&P 500, etc. And these are individual stocks if you're trading stocks. So when you're on Forex, we'll start on Forex. We'll go down. You can filter it, so you can sort it alphabetically if you know what you want to do. I prefer to sort it by strength. And what that means is the strongest movements go to the top. If it's above 20, that means it's a good, strong movement. Above 40 is even better. None of them above 40 right now. But if you went to New Zealand dollar, USD dollar, NU, and click on that, you would clearly see there's a nice trend going all the way back. Again, I'm on the 1 minute, but going all the way back to here. Downtrend started here. All the other indicators show that you should be in this, and you will be going down all the way to the taking it all the way down to about here. And we'll go over some of these strategies in a minute. This area is very important. This is showing you what the trend is on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, etc. You want to have at least 4 going in the same direction, one after the other. So New Zealand dollar against US dollar. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's mean there's a very strong downtrend on all the lower time frames, and only the 4-hour and the daily shows an uptrend. So if you're trading on the 1 minute, you want to see the 5, 15, and 30 all on a downtrend. If you're trading on the 5 minute, you want to see 15, 30, and 1 hour trending down. Then you know you're on a very strong downward trend. Okay. When you first start trading, I recommend to everybody on Forex is you trade just the top 3 pairs here. Don't worry about anything else. They'll give you a strong trend, and everybody knows trend is your friend. So these are the ones to take. They're all 40 or above. This one's now gone to 50. So this is very, very, very strong trending pair. And the stronger the trending is, the more volatility and the more money's in the market, the more likely it is when you practice safe trading that you're going to make money. So the alert panel is very, very important. The higher time frames, when we look at, let's say we're looking at New Zealand US dollar here, we can go to the daily, and we can look up certain time frames. We can look up certain support and resistance. We can certainly see we've got a strong support line right here. I'll make that a bit stronger so you can see it. There's one right here. You can see there's a strong support area right here. It has broken through in the last few days. Remember, this is the daily. We can drop down to the 4-hour. Those will carry on, but you'll start seeing some other nice areas. This is certainly a nice area of support still here. There's some other areas of support. There's another one right here that you might keep an eye on. And as we go down these higher time frames, we can see if there's other areas of support going on here. We also have on here, we do have a trend line going down here on the 1 hour. So we'll be looking to that. If it starts breaking up above that trend line, we might see another push up to the upside. Go down to the 30 minute. same thing, you're very strong, but lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, 15-minute, all this will transfer over. And then when you start, if you're a scalper, you're going to be trading on the 1 minute. Okay, so that's how you would look at your higher time frames and look at what you're going to be trading. You're going to be looking at your instruments. So if you go over here and you want to trade on gold or platinum or any of the others, obviously, again, we're showing clear signs. This is oil right here. And then when we go to Bitcoin, indices, etc., I won't go through all of them, but you can see, for instance, on oil here, the 5 minute and above is all a strong trend down, although the 1 minute has crossed over right here. The macro trend arrow shows we've crossed over. We're clearly in an uptrend on the first trend line, which is this main line here. And we're also on uptrend on the secondary trend line when blue is above red. If blue is below red, we're in sell territory. We're shorting the stock. Okay, so what happens is we're going to show you some of the other areas where we're going to be showing where you take trades. And I'll start right here, for instance. So this is a good one here. We can clearly see that we've got some nice indicators setting up here to show you where you might be entering and where you might be exiting. So on this, which is oil, I don't know whether anyone trades oil, but what we're looking for on Impulse, whether you're trading oil, gold, indices, Forex, doesn't matter. All these indicators, all these signals that I'm going to show you in conjunction with the indicators are going to show you when to enter and exit the trade. And especially when you're beginning, what I would suggest is you only take a trade when there's 5 signals all aligning to tell you to get into a trade. Okay. And I'll show you on this one. We can go on any other pair, any other commodity. We can go on gold. We can go on any of these. But what we're seeing here is our first trend line, our first indicator is obviously this line here. This is our trend line. If it's red and the candles are underneath it, we're in sell mode. If it's blue and the candles are above it, we're in buy mode. So that's our first indicator. Our second indicator is whether the smaller trend line, the blue and the red lines, are above, the blue is above or below the red line. If it's above, again, we're looking at sells. So when it crosses, we are looking at a potential entry, and we can see that this crosses probably around here. Okay, so then we look at what the other indicators are. So one of the indicators, remember with Impulse, it's very, very simply color coded. When we're looking for buys, we're looking at all the blues. When we're looking for sells, we're looking for all the reds. So what happens here? Here is another indicator right here that the stochastic, which is this top indicator, it's crossed up through the blue. So again, when we're looking for buys, we're looking at blue going up through the blue. If we're looking for sells, we're looking for it to come down through the red. But in this case, we've got a clear signal that says, hey, we've got a heads up here. I know we're in sell mode right now, but we could be reversing direction, because here I'm telling you right now, we've crossed up into the across the blue line. Okay. And then when we look down here, we can clearly see we've kind of gone in the RSI. We've crossed into blue, but went back into red. Crossed into the blue, back into red. But right here, we see we've clearly crossed from red into blue, and now we are heading up. And it's pointing up, so that's a strong move. So now we've already got we've already got 1, 2, 3, 4 indicators. Another indicator that we look for is the Bollinger Bands expanding. And you can see these outer gray areas are expanding right here. So when they expand right here, we're looking at possible entry right around here when the Bollinger Bands start expanding, okay? And I'm just going to open this up a little bit to show you what that looks like when we look at the arrows, because the blue arrows and the red arrows are also very important. In each of these little arrows, 50 different calculations go into each of these arrows. So again, we're looking for blue and red. In this case, we've got a series of red arrows, which shows us we're still in the downtrend. But look what happens right here. We start getting blues. So typically when we have a run of 3 or more red arrows, and then we get an arrow of the opposite color coming in, this is another indication that something is going on. So those arrows are very, very important. And you can clearly see there's another indicator right there where the blue arrow appears, okay? And here we have another indicator here, because what we like to see on buys, we like to be in this upper gray Bollinger Band range. And if we're in sells, we like to be in the lower Bollinger Band range. The gray area is the Bollinger Band range. We don't particularly like it when the candles are in the white area. The white area typically shows range. In this case, you can see the Bollinger Bands getting very narrow. This is very, very rangy. You could stay in and take this, but it's not something that would be good. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 arrows saying now's the time to get into a buy. Even though it's counter trend, it's a very, very strong push up, and you would definitely get in on that arrow there. Okay, so our entry would actually be right here. Okay, and our exit would actually be right about here for a number of reasons, and I'll show you why. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 entries. You're in right there. There's no reason to get out. You're in the upper Bollinger Band. You haven't broken below the blue line. Certainly haven't gone below the red line. The blue line is expanding away from the red line, which means that it's still a strong move. The blue line at the bottom here, as you can see, stays in blue mode all the way along here, all the way along here, all the way along here. So we don't have to worry about that at all. Okay. And all the way along, blue, 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 blue. You could have stayed in this, but when I see it going into the white area, I'm usually going to get out. So in this case, I would take the trade from here and I would get out here. And I would take all the pips from there to here, which is about 30, 35 pips. Okay, and that's how you would trade. If we go along to let's go and look at I know you all love gold, but let's look at something you probably haven't looked at before. Let's look at platinum. Let's see what happens to platinum. Okay, same thing. Let's count the trades and see what we've got in. So our first sign here is we're in buy mode. This is even stronger than the oil actually, because we're in buy mode. We bounce, we bounce, we bounce. We tested below, but look, here's our macro trend arrow right here. We're looking for buys. So here's another sign here. We bounced up through the blue right here. Another sign there. We're bouncing up through the red from the blue right here. there's another sign. We actually get, we've already got blue arrows here, but the secondary trend line, these two trend lines, the blue is below the red. We want it to go above the red, and actually right about here, you can see the blue crosses the red. We're up in the upper Bollinger Bands. The upper Bollinger Bands are expanding again right here. So these are expanding. These are expanding right here. Sorry. These are expanding right here. So this one is another indication that we are in buy mode. This is another indication. These candles are all in the upper gray area here. You see the upper gray Bollinger Band area. So that's another signal. So now let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, we only need 5, and you would get in about, well, actually, you'd get in exactly there, and you could get out here. You could actually stay in all the way up to here. You could probably get out there, and you would get all those pips, which in this case is 120 pips right there. You were doing $1 a pip, that's $120. Doing $10 a pip, that's $1,200 just in that trade right there. Okay, so that shows you exactly how we trade on all these different instruments. If you want to have a look at gold, let's see what gold looks like. Again, you know, we can count these up. We've got one crossing the blue band right here. The trend line here is already blue, just changed around here. So we have, this is telling us, look, we're about to set up here. This one a little bit later is saying, okay, now we're really setting up here. Now we've got some, after all these red down arrows here, we suddenly see a blue arrow starting to appear here. So there's another signal. Our trend line, I should put that in because obviously that is another signal. We can see right here, the blue crosses the red. So that again is another signal right here. And we're up in the blue Bollinger Band here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do have the Bollinger Bands expanding. So again, we've got these Bollinger Bands expanding. There's your 6th. We stay in the gray area here. So actually you've got seven signals here to say go in for a buy. If you were in the buy here, you would I would actually be out about here. I would then get back in on this continuation, see where it crosses here, back up into the blue, and it bounces off the red and heads up again. So you have another entry here, and you would probably take that up to about there. And so you would get on this move here, from here to the top of here, that's 154 pips. And on this second move right here, you would be in around here, and you would get out about there. That's another 228 pips. So in that move, you'd be up over 180 pips on that move. And that move started at 6 o'clock, 6:02, no, 6:04 our time. You got out at probably 6:12, so you're in that for 8 minutes. You were back in here at 6:15, out here 10 minutes later. So in 18 minutes, you'd have made 270, 80 pips. And again, if you were at $1 a pip, that's $280. If you were $10 a pip, that's $2,800. That is the power of impulse. Doesn't matter what you're trading. If you're trading gold, you can look at other indicators. You can look at Aurus. You can look at all these things. But I'm telling you, impulse is going to tell you when to get in and when to get out. Why would you get out here? Because this crossed back through the red. It's also an engulfing candle. That's the second reason. And also the candle went into the white zone. There's your third reason. It almost jumped into red there. There's your fourth reason. You would get out the trade all day long there. You got another signal to get back in here, crossed up through the blue, went up through it more strongly into the blue zone on the RSI. We're back in the gray area. We're going up, 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 up. Here we drop through the red zone again, right here. So you could got out here, and that would be your 280 pips right there. All right, so that's the basics of impulse. I'm going to stop that right there so you can see exactly what we're looking at. We're coming back on this trade. Hey, hi Samuel, good to see you on. If there's any questions, you can ask them in the chat here. Hey, buddy. Or you can unmute yourself and ask me questions here. I'll be happy to answer them. Happy to go over any other thing here. Can we implement this off of this platform? No, you can't, Derek. This is specific to IM Academy. You do need to have an Academy membership, and you do have to have the Impulse Scanner as one of your tools that you use. The benefit of everything that I do is always to be done within the Academy. So you do need an active subscription. All the value is in the Academy. I can tell you, I've been doing this 3 years, Derek. Samuel knows me. Tony's knows me. Tony's seen my account. He knows how big it is. He knows how I trade. I teach people that we're going to be looking at 1 to 3% gain per day. The guy who taught me, I shared a screenshot with on one of my trainings on Sunday. 1% a day, if you go on the lower end, is going to be roughly equal to about 20% a month. The guy who started me last month, he didn't make 20% a month. He made 257% a month. So this does work. It's way worth way more than you pay with the Academy, especially if you can get it to and free, so it doesn't cost you anything. That's what most people will start off doing, get a couple of mates, get a couple of friends with them to be on this journey with them. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, though. You know, we are looking, you will take time to learn this. You will take time to get the hang of this. Obviously, everyone's starting on a demo account before they move off to a live account or a funded trading account. And then you can start making some real money. Yeah, 257, yeah. Now, don't forget, I'm not saying that you're going to do this. This guy's been in the Academy continuously for 4 years. He studies. He used to be the COO of an international corporation based in Europe. He was the US head executive. He's only about 45 years old. I'm not going to mention his name. Tony knows him. I know him. Yeah, 257%. Can you imagine what your account would look like if you had 257%? I mean, I show the numbers when it's 20%. I mean, 250% is just so ridiculous. It's out there. Now, will you get there? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I tell you what, you won't get there if you're not in the Academy. You won't get in there watching videos on YouTube. You won't get in there jumping from strategy to strategy. You won't get in there trying to find free mentorship on the internet. One thing about our educators and on the platform itself, I Am Academy, is they are audited every 3 months internally. They have to show their trading logs. They have to show they're successful traders. They have to show they're 6- and 7-figure traders trading on their own accounts to be able to remain educators. You go onto YouTube, you don't know what the success rate of these guys are. You don't know these people trying to sell you courses. All our educators are audited and vetted, and if they can't stay profitable, they can't stay an educator. Then you go down to the next level when you look at educators like myself, like KD, like Sam, like all the platinum leaders in the academy. We've been doing this a while. We're not newbies. I've been in it 3 years. I don't know, how long have you been in, Sam?
A year and a half.
Year and a half. Sam's been in it a year and a half, and he's doing phenomenally well. And he trades every day, and he trains practically every day. So this is something that you do need to work up to when we start anything. We start a hobby, we start working out, we start a diet. You know, nothing's going to happen in the first week. You go to the gym, the first week, nothing happens. Second week, nothing happens. You go on a diet, nothing happens in the first week. Maybe you'll lose some water weight. That's it. Okay. So everything is long term. You start a new hobby. You start trying to learn a musical instrument. Go and pick up a guitar. See how long it takes you before you can play a song that somebody recognizes. It's not instant. Nothing is instant. Forget instant. Instant gratification is a fallacy. We don't teach instant gratification. We don't teach instant profits. What we do teach here is solid trading methods, indicators, and signals. Okay. And then if you follow those, and we do a lot of training on setting up a trading plan to show you when to trade, what to trade, how to trade, etc., etc. We can point you to the direction for where to find brokers from. There's a great app up here, actually, I got open, called WikiFX, sorry. You can go to that, wikifx.com. You can rank all the brokers over here. It'll show you, you go to the ranking list. It'll show you the global ranking. It'll show you the domestic ranking, show you the brand ranking. So there's lots of ways you can go here and find out different brokers that work for you. And bear in mind that some brokers don't work in the US, some brokers don't work in England, some brokers don't work in Canada, some brokers don't work in Australia, Europe, etc. So you do have to do your due diligence. And remember, at all times, whatever I say, always go back to the person that introduced you to the academy and follow what they say. This is just my opinion and how I trade. Samuel trades a little bit differently. KD trades a little bit differently. Tony actually trades exactly the same as me because we're partners and we train together. But your upline has their own way. They might want you to look at other educators, Mike Navarrete, Mike Sotero, etc., depending what you're trading. So, you know, I'm not saying this is the be all and end all of trading, but the more you listen and the more you get on these platforms, you know, I've been in it 3 years. I'm on the Go Lives, which, as you know, is our internal Zooms within the academy. I'm on it at least 4 times a week. I'm on at least 2 or 3 live Go Lives and at least 1 recorded one. If you can't get them on live because you're at work or you're doing something or you're at church or whatever it may be, then go to the recording. And when you go to these educators, go to their favorite sessions, they nearly all have a series of boot camps to teach you. So if you want to learn a specific strategy, go to their favorite sessions of the favorite coach and educator that you like. Go to their favorite sessions, look for their boot camp series. Brandon Boyd and Josh Lee, for instance, on Impulse, they have a 4 boot camp series. One of them is an hour long, but the rest of them are only 20, 30 minutes long. You go through that boot camp, you're trading like me, you're trading like Sam, you're trading like Tony. And if you want to make not 20%, but 200% a month, you have to go through that process. Again, I'm not saying you're going to get there. I'm not making any promises, but I can guarantee you're not going to get anywhere near that unless you follow these rules and unless you follow these trading plans. And I'm excited about that and adamant about that. All right, anybody, absolutely. Consistency and commitment. Very, very important. Commitment is very important. If you're not committed to it, you're not going to be consistent. So your first thing to do is commit to it. Why do you want to do this? What will it mean to you when you're successful at trading? What are you going to do? What are you going to buy? Who are you going to help? Is going to be more important to you than buying material things. Material things are great, and different age groups are looking for different things. When you're young, you want the Rolex, you want the car, you want the Maserati, you want this. I've done all that. I've had the Porsche, I've had the cars, I've had the Rolex. I still have the Rolex. You know, I've had those things. They're important to you, but as you get older, other things become more important to you. Family, friends, helping people, your church, your faith, helping different things like that. Buying your mum a house might be more important to you than buying yourself a house. Okay, so have that in your mind about why you're trading, why you want to learn this exceptional skill for creating wealth, and that will then give you the commitment to stay the course, stay in the academy, learn how to do it properly. And then if you add the consistency, as Sam just said, that's how you become successful. Had a training again on Sunday. I posted it in the group, in the group chats. You want to go over that because it shows you in consistency what the difference is in your income if you trade only 3 days a week as opposed to trading 5 days a week. It actually is about 2/3 more. So if you're trading 3 times a week and you're going to make, let's say, 20 grand, doing exactly the same thing, but trading 5 days a week, you'll actually make 3 times that, 60 grand. That's the difference between consistency. Go and watch that other training of mine. I posted it in the groups. It'll show you how I calculate it, show you where you can go so you can calculate it yourself. You can plug in your own numbers. But you'll be astonished, amazed, and excited when you see what consistency can do for you. Okay, there we go. Tony, that's your goal, fixing my mum's house. Exactly. We all have these goals that are bigger than us, that fill our hearts bigger than what buying a car or buying material things are going to be. That's your real why for doing this trading. And as you get more and more successful, your why gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Your reason for doing this gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So keep that in the back of your mind. Always have that feeling there for you. But follow this impulse system or any of the other systems that your upline puts you on. Doesn't matter. I'm just showing you impulse right now. And you will be successful with commitment, consistency, and constant learning. There we go. Supporting my church. One of the important things about having a why, having a reason to do this, by the way, Derek, Tony, etc., is write it down in great detail. So supporting my church, taking care of my family and those around me, write down exactly what that means. Supporting your church, how? How much money are you going to give to your church? How much are you going to volunteer? Are you going to go do missionary work? If you're going to do missionary work, which countries are you going to visit? Are you going to be building churches? Are you going to be building schools? Are you going to be digging wells in far off countries? Write it down in great detail, taking care of my family. What does that mean exactly? Does that mean you somebody who's not very well in your family? Are you going to be able to afford better medical care for them? Is it somebody whose house needs fixing up? Is somebody you want to get your mum out from renting a house and get her in her own house so she doesn't have to worry about the rent going up all the time? If it's a house, what kind of house? How many bedrooms? Where is it located? What color it is? What does it look like inside? Get very, very specific. And when you do that, close your eyes for a minute and imagine what that looks like to you when you're doing missionary work, when you're buying your mum a house, when you're doing something special. Imagine that house. Imagine your mum's face as she walks in the front door. You hand her those keys. What does that feel like? Because you will have such a sense of euphoria. That's what's going to keep you going and keep you on this journey. Because I tell you what, this journey is hard. This is not easy. If somebody tells you it's easy, forget it. Is it simple? Yes, it actually is very simple. But it is hard as, I can't say that word. It's hard, okay? It is hard. Don't let anyone tell you this is easy. It's simple, but it's hard. And so you need that commitment. You need that reason why to keep going, because you're going to want to quit loads and loads of times. All of us here of traders, we've blown accounts. We've wanted to quit. We've had to step back and say, what the hell am I doing wrong? How come all these other people are making money and I'm not? We've all done it. Sam's nodding. Tony's nodding. All these people are nodding because it's all true, because it happens to us and it happens to all of us. So we've been there. We know that. We're not going to BS you again, like all these guys on YouTube that are renting Lamborghinis to sit in and standing in front of somebody's fancy house to say, oh, yeah, this is so easy. Anybody could do it. That's not true. Nobody could do it. You could do it if you're committed, if you're consistent, and if you follow the plan. If you don't do that, you won't do it. I guarantee it. Get it. Don't even bother. Be committed, be consistent, follow the plan, follow Samuel, follow Tony, follow me, follow KD, follow Neno, follow Mike Sotero, follow Mike Navarrete, follow Nancy Aguilera, follow all these people, because they have already got what you want. I guarantee it. And following people that already have what you want is going to take you one step closer to getting what you want. All right, everybody, I'm going to wrap it up. If there's any more questions, let me know. You can unmute yourself or you can write in the chat.
You forgot Brandon Boyd and Josh Lee.
Brandon Boyd and Josh Lee, they are the inventors of Impulse. They're on 5 days a week, 3 times every day, starting at 7 o'clock in the morning. Their education is fire. The thing I like about them is each one, even though they're on 3 times a week, each session is only 30 minutes. Everyone is recorded. They do have their own boot camp. I did mention them because they have their own boot camp on there, Tony, for video boot camps. But they're the inventors of this. They'll show you. They have it on indices. They have it on Forex. 3 times a day, 5 days a week. If you can't get on live and trade with them, then you can watch a recording afterwards. All these, there's no educator that I can tell you don't go and watch, because they're all superb. Follow your upline on who you want to follow. Follow the people whose style suits your style, who's trading the asset classes that you want to trade. A lot of you like gold. Follow people who are trading gold. That's what you want to get to. All right. So that's it for now, guys. Hopefully you got some great value on this. I think KD wants me to do this every Sunday. So as this progresses, every Wednesday. I also do a call Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific, and that is all about mindset and psychology and the simple steps to go from $200 to over $10,000 in 5 months. It's called 5 months to 5 figures. I teach that every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. I know that's Pacific time. I know some of you, especially on the East Coast, it's church time, it's family time, etc. But I do post a recording. 7 o'clock Pacific time on Sunday. I'm live trading because the markets are open. It gives you a good setup for the week. Again, that's on 7 o'clock. It's after a lot of other people's calls. So if you want to jump on, I will actually go and show you setups on the charts as they're happening. I'm not going to be calling out the live trades. I'm going to just be showing you, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signals showing you to get into a buy or a sell. It's up to you whether you take it or not. That's not my decision. That's yours.